What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Independent Waters. It is me, your host, Mikey Manfredi. Mikey, Jingle Bells Manfredi. And joining me, as always, is Zach, the Christmas caroler Batista. Zach, how are you? Zach, how you doing, buddy, with your holiday nickname?
I'm doing great, actually. I love this time of the season. Like, if I could choose, like, a set of months that are, like, my shit, it would be Halloween to Christmas. I'm biased. I also like Valentine's Day, but that's because my birthday's near there. But this time of the year is, like, one of my favorite times of the year for holidays.
Dude, for me, it's, like, October all day, and then everything else can... October and November, because I like Thanksgiving, because I like to eat.
Mm-hmm.
But, honestly, I work in retail, so, like, I could go without Christmas.
Christmas shoppers are a fucking nightmare.
I could go without Christmas, if I'm being honest, working in retail. It's kind of not the greatest.
Yeah, it's nothing's worse than when you get a Karen that's like, why don't you have this in stock? It's like, maybe you should have come here earlier and bought it. And not
like when people come on the last day of our weekly sales. Yep. Our sales start on Wednesday. People come in Tuesday night at like a half hour before we close. You're like, what? Do you have this? No. Nope. Why don't you have this? It's because, like, gee, I don't know. Probably because it's the last day of the sale and they didn't send us anymore.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have procrastinated and gone when all the old ladies showed up on the first day of the sale like they always do.
Right?
I'll give them props. The old women that were at least in my shop right when I worked there, they were on point. Like if we had a deal on Sunday, they would be there Sunday morning picking up everything they could.
Listen, we have our dedicated shoppers at Lidl too. You should see on Wednesday. Wednesday's our busiest day now because people found out when the sales actually start, so that everyone floods the store every Wednesday.
Bargain hunters.
Oh yeah, the best. Anyway. We have some great matches for you today to review, and we have a very special Christmas themed one for our for the one we both watched. So when we get to that, I'm very excited because we got ourselves a little Christmas themed death match, baby.
Death matches can be for any holiday; it doesn't matter.
Always, right? Like all you gotta do is put a little pun on it or something, and you're good.
Put some thumbtacks in there, some barbed wire. You're good.
Yeah.
Ooh, I clapped.
A little spoiler alert, if you listen to our Friday show, we have a little Christmas themed Hit the Books coming out too, so stay tuned for that.
Ooh, it's
where we have some Christmas themed matches coming up for you.
I know some people aren't the biggest fan of the gimmick matches that they put on like WWE, but like I fucking love them.
Yeah, same. Dude, I have a Miracle on 34th Street fight. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
My favorite.
They're so corny and just so fun. Just the amount of shit they have out in the ring that I'm just like,
It's so good. It's so good. Anyway, Sorry, go ahead. I was
gonna say peak for me is when John Cena pulled out the present. He's like, "What's in this?"
That's like the GIF, right?
I love
like where John Cena pulls the chair out of the present, and he's like, he has the big happy look on his face. Oh my god, it's so funny. I want more matches like that where the weapons are inside presents. Like that was so funny and so good. Like I want more of that.
Great.
Anyway,
all right.
Before we get to our special holiday match, let's jump into our matches that we watched this week.
Yes.
Do you remember who went last week?
Let's see. I'm looking at my matches. Let's see. That was there. I want to say that I went first last week.
So if you went first last week, that means it's my turn to jump right in. Let's start with my first match. We have WARHORSE.
Yeah.
We have WARHORSE taking on Manders.
Ooh.
From Beyond Wrestling for the IWTV Independent Wrestling Championship. This one is great. This is a great match. Manders is a huge lad.
Yes, he is. Manders
and he shows off. He shows off he's a huge lad right in the beginning of this match when he does a military press to WARHORSE and just holds him up with one hand.
Ooh.
It's like above his head, and then just like yeets him to the side.
Yep.
He's like, yep. Whoop,
Manders.
and just throws him to the side, and WARHORSE lands and then gets up from it. He like rolls through. And then Manders bangs his head against the turnbuckle, and of course you don't do that to WARHORSE.
Never.
Warhorse brings the beautiful line of, "You want to bang heads with Warhorse?"
Mm-hmm.
But before he could do his thing where he grabs him and like starts banging his head on the turnbuckle, like in the middle of his sentence where he's like, "You want to bang heads with?" Manders just chops him across the chest.
Oh, damn!
Warhorse is like trying to do his thing, and Manders just like, nah. Shut up.
He baited him. He played into it by headbanging him on the turnbuckle, and then as he's like, I got you.
He was like, "You want to bam?" Just chops him across the chest.
Awesome.
And then proceeds to yeet him across the ring, of course.
Yep.
But Warhorse does come back in this one. He reverses one of Manders' slams and hits him with a gigantic missile dropkick.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Warhorse got like 10 feet off the top rope. It was wild. Hits him with that, and then Manders ends up getting control again. Literally back suplexes Warhorse across the ring again. Warhorse rolls out, comes back. They have a little bit of a sequence. Then Warhorse hits a triple back suplex to Manders.
Oh wow! Shit.
And then he hits 3 Germans back to back to back, and then ends up doing the elbow drop to Manders, which Manders kicks out of.
Oh shit!
And then gets up and gets Warhorse in a gut wrench powerbomb that looked like it could have slammed Warhorse through the ring.
Ooh.
It was brutal.
Sounds brutal.
But Warhorse does kick out of that as well. Warhorse kicking out of everything Manders is throwing at him. There's points in this match where I'm like, how? How did he even do that?
He's the king of heavy metal.
This is true. It's just like he's just so resilient throughout this whole match. Then there's a point where Don't know why I said Jake something. Where Manders has Warhorse on the top rope, and he goes up like he starts walking up, but like facing away from the turnbuckle. You know how they like kind of walk backwards up it sometimes. Mm-hmm. He looks like he was setting up a move, and then Warhorse reverses it, pushes him off the top rope, hits the double stomp. Manders falls down very slowly and very dramatically, like he's an evil villain who just got shot in a movie. Where he like pauses for a second, then like drops to his knees, and then falls on his face.
I love that.
He like gets hit with this double stomp, hangs there for a second, and just like, ugh. And then Warhorse gets the 1-2-3 and retains his Independent Wrestling Championship. And this one was pretty good. This is a great match between these two. I was surprised Warhorse kept kicking out. Manders really showed off how powerful he is. Warhorse also showed off his power, where he hit that triple German on Manders. I was like, damn, that's a big boy to be doing that to.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after all the punishment he took that match.
Yeah.
But sorry, go ahead.
I just realized something. No, I just realized the reason you might have said Jake something is because didn't we watch a match between Jake something and Manders like at the Collective?
I think so. I think it was a fatal 4-way. I think it was Manders, Jake
like
something, and 2 other people. I think Warhorse was in it.
Yeah.
No, it was Manders, Jake something, Ethan Page.
Yes. Oh, was that a Blake Christian? No, that's not that.
I think it was Alex. I think it was Alex Zane.
That's it. Because I was thinking of JD Drake there.
Yeah, it was those 4.
That makes sense. I forgot. Does Warhorse still have the title?
Yes.
He does. Okay, because there was that whole thing, and I haven't caught up with that. I'm not on the up and up with Warhorse's record-holding reign.
Now. Warhorse is still the Independent Wrestling Champion,
as it should be.
But yeah, this match was really cool. This match was great. These two kicked the absolute crap out of each other. They showed they were both equally showing off like their strength. Warhorse showed off his extra resiliency though by kicking out of a bunch of moves from Manders that all looked like they should have put him out. Because boy howdy, when Manders slams somebody, he sure as hell slams somebody.
Damn.
But I'm really stuck on this one because I like this one. I don't think this one was bad in any way, shape, or form. I like this match a lot. I just don't know whether to give it a mark out or a high meh.
Did it give you that feeling at the end of the match?
Yeah,
I think
because I'm even considering it, I'm gonna give it the high meh because I feel like if I even have to like stop and think about it, then it's not a mark out.
I think that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, if it's like not instinctual, like this is amazing.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like I
give
it a high meh though. Like it was very good. Don't get me wrong, the match was very good. I liked it. Really entertaining. Definitely kept me on the edge of my seat because Warhorse kept kicking out of a bunch of crazy moves. Even though I knew he was going to win because he's still the champion, I was still on the edge of my seat, which is always good.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's always good to have when you don't, when you get so into the match that you forget.
Yeah.
That you know the result already.
Definitely a good thing that you want to happen in a wrestling match. But like I said, I give it a high meh. This one was pretty great. Warhorse and Manders really put on a show here for Beyond. Beyond's always a good promotion for indie wrestling. But yeah, so that's my first match. Zach, what do you got first?
All right, so I decided to go for another. I mean, like, I always try to find a promotion I haven't heard of, or at least not one too often. I went to Bayou Independent Wrestling.
Oh boy!
And I found Frankie Thomas versus Cameron Cole, and I learned, thanks to commentary, that Thomas has done some stuff in AEW. He's probably one of the many people, because they mentioned Lance Archer fought him, so he's probably one of the many people that got destroyed by Archer. I don't know what
this
the
is
problem
fair.
is. I don't know the up and up on AEW and Dark because I haven't caught up to AEW in like forever because I'm just procrastinating watching it. But he could have killed him on Dark. Who knows? I believe this match is for the championship as well. So this match,
he could have killed him on Dark. Who knows? Sorry, I was like recovering from that line. It was really funny. I'm like, yeah, this guy could have died or whatever. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, okay, see, this is a problem. Well, there's a note for another match in here that makes no sense to me. Okay, that was weird. Okay,
take your time.
No, that's just me seeing one of my notes from the match later that I was like, why is this here? Anywho, this match's audio, first off, right off the bat, if you end up watching this match, it was muffled at first, and I was like, okay, fine. I was like, I could still in both ears. And then when it actually got to the commentating, all the hearing went to my left headphone, and I was like, this is worse. I'm like, what happened?
I hate bad audio. It's just it could completely ruin a thing for me.
I was like, I paused it. I was like, all right, hold on. Undid my headphones. I listened to the match from my computer. I was like, that's fine.
Anyone who's doing live events, or anyone who's if you're ever making a video, if you're ever making content, if you're ever doing live events, audio is king. People can get over a bad like an okay quality camera or like a bad quality camera if the audio is good. You know what pisses people off so much more? When your audio is bad.
Yes.
So always prioritize audio. Audio is king.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, continue. I'm sorry for my ramble.
So, it's all right. I mean, it makes sense. Like, because I was like, that's unfortunate, but all right. It's not the first time I've had that happen. So, the match starts off with the two of them basically just kind of doing the typical, like, tie-up, like, you know, wrist locks, like, just trying to, like, to get, like, the edge on the other one until, Thomas eventually, who's the champion here, let me see. Sorry, my notes are all messed up for some reason.
Take your time.
So Thomas gets a wrist lock on Cole, but Cole, like, counters it. It's the typical one where you see him, like, turn his arm around and get him on it, which forces Thomas to use the ropes to get a rope break.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas then starts accusing Cole of cheating and saying that he was pulling my hair, but I'm pretty sure but this was pretty funny to me, or amusing to me, because I'm pretty sure Thomas had, like, barely any hair to grab. Mm-hmm. He's like, he's grabbing my hair.
He's grabbing my hair. Says,
commentator's like, I don't think he's got much hair to grab. I was like, heh. I was like, all right.
It'd be it would be way funnier if he was, like, bald.
Oh, that would be funny. That'd be funnier. Yeah,
like imagine, like, Oni Lorcan being like, he's grabbing my hair.
Anywho, the two then go back to exchanging some wrist locks, trying to get, like, an upper hand on each other, until Cole eventually, like, throws Thomas face first into the turnbuckle, and then converts it into an inverted atomic drop and then a drop kick afterwards. Cole then gets Thomas into the corner and does a spot on where he gets up on the turnbuckle, and, like, he starts, like, you know, like a face gets up and starts punching the heel's face, like, repeatedly, and the crowd's crowning, mm-hmm. like, counting, like, 1, 2, 3, and he's just hitting him. He gets to 9, and Thomas just falls to the bottom of the corner, and he's just kind of cowering away from him. He didn't even get the 10th punch.
Jeez.
Which I thought was, like, you know, I like that. It's a variation from that, you know, a classic spot.
Mm-hmm.
At least it was classic. They don't do it much anymore. Anyway, Thomas then does a cheap shot and kicks Cole's leg out, only for Cole to then hit him with a power slam as he tries to run towards him to get some more offense in.
Oof.
Thomas, though, does finally go on the offense by throwing Cole over the top rope onto the apron. He then slides between his legs, pulls his feet out so that he hits face first onto the apron, and then he just chucks him into the ring post.
Damn.
So at this point, yeah, it's smooth enough that it looks cool. It's like a nice chain of events. Thomas then gets Cole into the ring, and he starts to just undo the turnbuckle pad blatantly in front of the ref. But he doesn't really get that far because the ref's like right there. So the ref goes over to the turnbuckle pad.
What are you doing?
The ref's like, well, I have to now check to make sure he didn't undo a string and this falls off. And as he's doing that, Thomas pulls out this like tape he's got on his wrist, and he starts to just choke Cole with it.
Oh, the bait!
Commentary mentioned at the beginning of the match is something that he is known to do.
The bait, just like,
yep.
It's the turnbuckle I'm going for. Yes, ref, check it.
Yes, totally. As I choke this man out with my wrist tape, and then as the ref like turns around, he like wraps the tape back around his arm, and the ref is none the wiser. Thomas then he just starts to choke him out some more on the ropes, puts him in a chin lock. And is able to, like anytime Cole gets out of it and starts to get a bit of a momentum, he just drops him.
Ugh, damn.
He then gets him in the corner and starts doing the typical, like working over his face, but, like, choking with the ropes, like, putting his boot and, like, just kind of shoving it into his face and out of, like, the corner. The usual shtick you see anyone working someone over in the corner is doing.
Of course.
It was at this moment that I was like, man, I get a lot of heels that just choke out their opponents in my matches, I've noticed, for some reason. Don't know why. So Cole eventually gets to the outside after he's been thoroughly beaten in the corner. And the two fight for a bit, and Cole does get the upper hand, but the moment they get in the ring, Thomas knocks him down and just puts him in a rear naked choke.
Mm-hmm.
He gets out of this, and finally Cole starts to mount his comeback. So I was like, all right. I'm like, I'm down for this. I'm like, let's go. Let's get some more high-paced action here, please. Thomas gets in the corner and tries to do the same thing with Cole before, where he throws him out into the apron and tries to like go underneath him and pull his legs out. But Cole, wise of this, counters it by just kind of kicking him in the face when he's on the apron because he's waiting for him.
Mm-hmm.
Cole then gets Thomas back in the corner and then does this really cool enough spot that I put a note down for this, where he jumps from the apron over the top rope and code breakers Thomas out of the corner.
Jeez.
I was like, all right. I'm like, that's a fucking cool spot. I was like, all right. I was hoping this would lead more into it, but no. Didn't lead any more of that. Thomas then Thomas gets pinned here, but the ref notices that his feet was on the ropes after the fact. And he explains this to Cole, who Cole is now like, what the heck, I just won. And he's like, no, you didn't, his foot's on the ropes. And I was like, all right, so the ref saw that. I was like, cool. Thomas gets up, the two start to fight again, and Cole hits another code breaker, but this time Thomas, realizing how bad of a move that is for him to take, rolls out of the ring.
Yeah, good call.
Cole chases him out, and Thomas ends up pulling him out of the ring. Like, the two then get back into the ring. He goes out as he tries to run the ropes, pulls his leg out. The two then fight on the outside for a bit more. Cole then gets Thomas in the corner and chops him, hits him with a body slam and then a running bulldog, which didn't look like it got Thomas's face into the ground, but whatever. I was like, cool. And this leads into the finish of the match, where Cole goes towards Thomas in the corner. Thomas grabs him and flatlines him into the middle turnbuckle, and then pins him with his feet blatantly on the middle ropes in front of the ref, who somehow didn't see this, and he wins.
Jesus,
with a dirty pin.
I hate when shit happens directly in front of the referee, and it's just like,
oh my god,
just nothing.
Yeah, commentary was like, how did the ref not see that? He's right when the heel commentator was like, oh, he's focused on the pin. And I'm like, bro, his legs were literally like elevated a good 2 feet above it. It wasn't even like subtle. But I digress.
Just didn't even bother trying.
I was like, all right, fine. Overall, the match was just average. Average face versus heel. Okay, wrestling, which the one spot, which is the code breaker spot, which I thought was the most exciting part of the match. Mm-hmm. Like, I glossed over a lot of, like, Thomas working over Cole and a lot of parts where, like, there wasn't a ton of, like, movement going on. Like, it was fun. There's nothing too bad. Like, I didn't hate this match when I finished it, but I didn't, like, I wasn't over the moon going, like, that was fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
It was pretty good.
All right, cool. So you gave that match a meh. It was
a meh. That was
decent.
Average.
All right.
Decent to average.
My next match is from a promotion that I think we've all heard of called Stardom.
Oh shit.
We're getting into Japanese wrestling now.
I was wondering how long it would take for one of us to pick a Stardom match, because I remember when you told me we were going to do the rules back when you pitched the podcast to me, I was like, ooh, Stardom's available. I'm like, I might do that one time.
Yeah, we're going into Stardom. We got a tag team match here. We got B Priestley and Jamie Hayter taking on Tam Nakano and Arisa Hoshiki.
I know one of the women in that match. That would be B Priestley.
We did a Jamie Hayter match on here before.
Did we?
Yeah, I had a Jamie Hayter match.
No, I'm trying to remember who'd she go against.
Mercedes Blaze.
That match. Okay, all right. I do remember this. I do vaguely remember you telling me about this match.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of matches on here.
So we got Jamie Hayter and B Priestley taking on Tam Nakano and Arisa Hoshiki from Stardom. This match is really, really good.
Oh shit, let's go.
It starts off pretty fast at first. It starts off with, I believe, Jamie Hayter and Arisa in the ring, if I can remember correctly. It's my first time seeing Tam and Arisa, so forgive me if I don't remember who was where at what time. So the match starts pretty fast, with some cool sequences between Jamie and Arisa, and then it slows down a little bit after that big burst when Jamie gets Arisa in like a camel clutch almost. But then she like starts twisting her neck, and then she holds Arisa there, and she puts up her finger, puts it in her mouth, and just wet willies Arisa.
Oh my god. Okay.
Which is a thing Jamie Hayter is kind of known for.
Okay.
She did it. Right. I know she did it on an episode of AEW when she appeared.
Was it on Dark?
I don't remember if it was. It might have been. I think it was before Dark.
Yeah, this is the thing. This is
I think it was before. I think it was before Dark was the thing, because it was. I think it was her versus Britt Baker. I don't exactly remember. It was a while ago.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to this match. Hayter and Priestley in this match are just being like the worst. Like they're being like the very annoying heels. Like just completely just yelling, just always yelling at the other side, yelling at the fans, being like obnoxious, like doing fake handshakes and like oh yeah, you're doing great. Yeah, they're really sarcastic clapping.
Yeah.
Like they're just being the absolute worst. It's so funny.
I love obnoxious heels.
They have Tam and Arisa have some great tag team work in this one. They have some cool double team moves where they'll like knock out someone's knees and then hit like the sweet chin music like knee combination.
Oh, I like that.
Like a super kick knee combination. It's sweet. Then there's one point where Arisa gets B Priestley in like a sleeper hold, like she's on her back having her in a sleeper hold. And then Jamie Hayter comes in and tries to break it up. She hits Jamie. She still has Priestley with one arm. Takes her other arm, punches Jamie Hayter. Hayter turns around. She locks her in like this. Like he puts her in a headlock, but like a reverse headlock. So she's just on B Priestley's back with B in a sleeper hold while she has Jamie Hayter in like a reverse headlock, and it just has them both in like a submission hold, and it's so great.
It's one of those things like you describe it, and I'm like, I need a visual. I want to see this now.
Yeah. Don't. Spoiler alert. This will probably be your match, so you'll see it.
Dope.
But she gets him in like a double submission hold, and it's like wild. So that was cool. She ends up throwing Jamie. She ends up throwing Jamie after she chokes her out for a little bit, and then B Priestley gets her off, and they keep going with the match. There's one point where Tam gets tagged in, from a hot tag from Arisa, and hits B Priestley with the wildest German suplex I've ever seen.
How wild we talking?
So she gets her in a German.
Yeah.
And then you know how you just go over and that's it?
Yeah.
Yo. She picked Priestley up so high, up. It looked like she went so high and then just arched arched so hard that Jamie almost landed just directly on her head. Not Jamie, sorry. Ooh. B Priestley almost landed directly on her head.
Folks,
it was
girls at Stardom.
It was the arch on this German suplex was so wild. Usually Germans go out. This one went up and down.
Sounds about right for the Joshi girls. I know that girls in Joshi wrestling don't fucking take They are not light on when they wrestle. They are
no, not even a little bit.
They kick the shit out of each other.
Yeah, they do. There's one point in the ring where they both get tags again, and it's like a little bit of a double. Like all of them are in the ring at once. B and Jamie go for I think a double team move, like a V trigger like bicycle kick combo.
Yeah,
on I believe Arisa. I'm getting them mixed up. I'm so sorry. On one of them, and they move out of the way, so B hits Jamie, and then Jamie gets knocked out. And then B gets hit with a double kick to the head.
Ooh.
And then since they're both on the outside, and then B rolls on the outside, Jamie's already on the outside. Tam and Arisa both get up on opposite turnbuckles, and both do like a synchronized like dive to the outside onto
nice.
Jamie, and onto B. This match ends when Arisa dodges one of Jamie's lariats and hits her with like a very Black Mass type like kick. That's the only way I really know how to describe it. It's like a spinning back kick, but it looks like a black. Okay. It looks at the most similar to the Black Mass. If you WWE fans are here, and that ends up getting the win because it takes Jamie out. I know I didn't describe this match very well, but it was a lot happening at once, and it was very like wild to follow, and it was very good. I promise you. Go watch it. Go watch it. It's definitely I don't think it's like a super mark out, but it's a mark out. It's good. It was good enough that it made me pop. I liked it a lot.
Nice.
I liked it a lot. It got me to pop. There were some really sweet moments during this match. Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I gave it a mark out. I really liked the wrestling in this one. These four women really took it to the next level. And put on a really great match. So go check it out if you can. It's B. Priestley and Jamie Hayter versus Tam Nakano and Arisa Hoshiki from Stardom.
I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be. I think you'll like it. It's very hard hitting, very Joshi.
Yes.
And it's a lot of striking. Let's say. Like I said, I think you'll like it. So Zach, what is your second match this week?
Oh boy, I picked a fucking good one with this one.
Oh yeah? Let's hear about it.
Yeah. So I went looking around for a good women's match this week, and I settled upon Fearless Charlie Morgan versus Sammii Jayne at Pro Wrestling Eve. I want to say we've had matches from Pro Wrestling Eve, but we might not have. But this is for the Pro Wrestling Eve Championship. Charlie Morgan is unfortunately is retired at the moment. She broke her ankle, I believe, at her debut on Shimmer last year.
Damn.
But the video's title was "The Female Jeff Hardy" is how they described her. So I was like, all right. I was like, she's retired, and that's her nickname. So I'm excited to see what this match is going to be. So this match starts with commentary really putting over this belt. They started how past former champions were Paige, Nikki Cross were both former champions. They mentioned that Nikki, who trained Sammii Jayne, the current champion, and how currently Jayne is approaching 1 year as champion as well, and is currently like really cementing a really good reign. Whereas Morgan has been chasing after this belt for a couple months now.
Okay.
And this feud is really like heated up at this point. I believe they've also mentioned throughout the match that Morgan and Jayne have fought before, and Morgan actually lost to Jayne. So this is kind of like a rematch for her.
Okay.
The crowd was white hot for Morgan in this match. Like, they were hot as hell for this match, and they really wanted to see Morgan win, which I was very happy to see, because nothing's better than when a crowd's into a match and when they're behind the person who is the face in the match.
Yeah.
Love it.
Of course.
So, match starts off. Jayne walks right up and pie-faces Morgan. She starts to laugh, and the camera's only on her, and she's like, haha, this fucking idiot. And Morgan then just double-leg takedown, takes her to the mat, and just starts to wail on her. The two then go out to the ringside and just start beating the shit out of each other. It looks more like a fight than it does an actual wrestling match for this portion of the match.
Okay.
Eventually, they both end up on the entrance ramp, and Jayne suplexes Morgan onto it, and it is solid. Like, you know how, like, stage bot crew, there's, like, those, like, big black boxes that you carry the equipment in?
Mm-hmm.
It's like getting suplexed onto that. It is solid, and it did not look fun to take that bump.
Yeah, I bet it probably wasn't.
And then Jayne's gloating on the ramp. She's like, haha, yeah, I got you. And Morgan just gets up and pounces on her with a spear, and the two of them continue to just beat the shit out of each other on this ramp.
Jeez.
Morgan then runs into the ring, suicide dives Jayne, and just as she gets up and throws Jayne to the ring, Jayne, not wanting to be outdone by her, immediately runs the ropes and suicide dives onto the ref and Morgan.
Okay.
Match was breakneck. Jayne immediately
sounds
starts
like
to...
it.
Yeah, oh yeah, this match fucking went in at the beginning, and I fucking loved it. Jayne immediately started working over Morgan's arm, just beating the shit out of it. Commentary mentioned how she, like, broke her collarbone, so, like, that's... Nah. Her, like, working over her, like, chest and arm was not beneficial for her in the slightest.
Mm-hmm.
Jayne eventually then pulls out a table, and I was like, oh shit, we're just... This did not say it was a hardcore match, so, gotta love indie productions that are just kind of like, rules are bendable.
Rules are bendable.
A suggestion.
Flexible.
Yeah, I love when I find a promotion and don't know anything about it, and they just whip out like, yes, people can go through tables here and it won't be DQ'd. And I'm just like,
listen,
you can't see it right now, but I'm double thumbs up.
If you hit an object with somebody, it's fine. If you hit somebody with an object, it's a DQ.
Exactly. So, Jayne then gets onto the apron, puts Morgan onto it, and she goes for a dragon suplex. And my first thought is, oh my god, are you actually going to take a dragon suplex off the apron through this table? Because if you do, that is metal as fuck and extremely dangerous. Don't do this at home. But Morgan gets out of it and super kicks Jayne in the, I want to say in the face or the chest, can't remember which one. She doesn't fall through it. She just falls to her knees, like she notices the table's there, and she's like, I'm not going to fall through my own table. That would be foolish.
Mm-hmm.
With Morgan in control,
Fair.
she like angrily walks over to this steel barricade, pulls it apart so that she can get through, drags Jayne through into the crowd. The two start fighting each other. They start chucking each other into the arena wall. Commentary then points out, as they get close to it, there is a large yellow ladder standing there, as they had a ladder match previously in the night, and that was a leftover that they had not put away yet.
It was a leftover from the match last night. They didn't put it away.
No, the previous match, like before this match,
that
ladder was a leftover.
For some reason, I thought you said the match last night. Like they just didn't like they had like an event last night where they had a ladder match and just didn't put one ladder away.
Guy looks at the ladder.
We're like, yeah, that one can hang out. It's whatever. It'll be fine.
So we then lose sight for them for a bit, and you can see the camera guys are moving around. And they literally lose sight of the match. Like, you can hear them fighting each other, and you can see the crowd reacting to something happening. Mm-hmm. And when we get back to it, and the cameraman has a good shot, you see that Jayne is currently on top of the ladder, and Morgan's on the ground. But Morgan then gets up and power bombs her off of it into the security team, who is trying to keep the crowd from walking onto from like going too close to the wrestlers.
Poor security team.
They're
just doing their best.
Well, I'm sorry to hear you're not gonna. Well, security team didn't get off that lightly.
Yeah, great.
So Morgan climbs up to the ladder, and I'm like, all right, you're gonna jump off the ladder. This is gonna be awesome. And then she looks up, and she sees that the balcony above is right within arm's reach. So she climbs over the balcony.
Okay.
Gets on top of it, and then just flips over it onto Jayne and a crowd of the security team who has now shown up to help the other guys up, and in a pile they all just get wiped out by this massive flip. Fucking
damn. Gave
me some Shane McMahon off of like the top of the fucking the Titantron at SummerSlam visor. I was like, why would you do that? That was fucking awesome. I popped off. I was like, I'm so ready.
I'm gonna say it again. Poor security team.
Yeah. That's a thumbnail of it, too.
Just doing their best.
Yep, just doing their best and getting hit in the crossfire.
Sounds about right for a wrestling security team.
Yep. So the two of them fight for a bit more, and they finally get back into the ring. And I remember thinking to myself, oh, we're back in the ring now. I'm like, all right, dope. I'm ready for this to become like a wrestling match in the ring. Morgan hits a series of European uppercuts. One in particular looked like it connected pretty more solid than the other one. That's what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Then goes for like a haluva kick / jumping haluva kick, and Jayne rolls out of the way, so she's stuck with her leg over in the corner, right?
Okay.
And then Jayne is like, well, if you're gonna jump and kick me in the face, I'll haluva kick you in the face. Haluva kicks her in the face, runs up as she's down in like the middle turnbuckle, knees her in the face, and then hits a brutal drop kick brawl. Like, this shit, like, was hitting her right in the face. It was solid. And I was like, yes, this is a blood feud right here.
Sounds like it. Sounds like things are getting pretty heated.
I was like, this is a blood feud. Yes, this is great. Continue this. Jayne then goes with her finisher, which is a driver of sorts, is what commentary alludes it to. But Morgan gets out of it with by getting out and turning her around, kicking her in the stomach, and then enziguring her in the face.
Jesus.
She then goes for her finisher, which is like a implant DDT. It's kind of like, it's like a Dirty Deeds, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, if you know it from WWE, Robert Roode's Glorious DDT.
Okay.
But Jayne is actually able to get out of it herself by grabbing her arm and like doing like an arm DDT of sorts, continuing to work over that left arm of hers from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
She then gets her over into a Fujiwara and works her arms over the ropes when she breaks it eventually. As you can tell, the two of them have very much scouted each other and are like really like on their game tonight. Jayne then starts to taunt her when she's down, and Morgan starts to fight back, but after she... Oh my god. So she's on her knees, right? And she's doing the Valiant Babyface thing of like pushing her opponent away and like trying to get at her, right? She pushes Jayne away, and she's on her hands and knees now, right? Jayne goes off the ropes, flips, and as she's flipping, grabs Morgan's arm and converts that into a Fujiwara, which was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan has to claw her way out of it, but she eventually gets out of it, comes back with a super kick, and then does a springboard like flip onto Jayne, like where she jumps on the ropes and then turns around and flips onto her.
Okay.
She then hits another springboard move where she jumps and then jumps off the ropes again and does a crossbody, which Jayne jumps in the air, and it looks really good. I was so sold on this. Awesome sell that then she hits her next move, which is a backstabber, which Jayne like pops up and then falls forward. It looked probably the nastiest backstabber I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Looked really good. Her selling was top notch here.
Nice.
Then Morgan goes up to the top rope and goes for a crossbody, but Jayne catches her and then hits her with her finisher, which is a fireman's carry into a Michinoku driver.
Ooh.
But Morgan kicks out of it, and the crowd popped off. I popped off.
Nice.
We then get into a awesome thing that I love that when wrestlers do this, a suplex off. Jayne gets up.
Suplex off.
Dragon suplexes Morgan. Morgan gets up, hits her with a German, and they just repeat this like once, like 2 or 3 more times, just like hitting each other, and then just hitting just these big Germans on each other, or like dragons on each other, depending on which one it was.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, the two stumble to their feet. Morgan hits 3 super kicks on Jayne. On the second one, she's like, "Oh, this bitch!" Hits her with a third. She then jumps, hits her with an enziguri. Both of them are down.
Jesus.
They then get into this 6 sequence where Morgan goes for another springboard offensive maneuver. But this time Jayne is ready. She pushes her legs out, so she's now sitting on the middle rope with her, where she's looking out to the crowd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jayne runs the ropes, runs towards Morgan, and instead of hitting her, pulls her backwards and pulls the ropes backwards so that it's like a recoil, and she just gets basically power bombed onto the ground and like gets folded inside out by this.
Oh my god.
Awesome fucking spot.
Yeah,
Loved
sounds
it.
like it.
Jayne then gets up to the top rope, and in a blink it, you'll miss it moment, pretty much, Morgan jumps up, yeets her off the top rope through the table that got set up at the beginning of the match.
Yep,
the table
there
exploded.
it is. Chekhov's table,
Yep.
baby.
Yep, I literally had forgotten about the table, and then I was like, wait, hold on, wait, what? And she suddenly just exploded.
Oh my god, wait, that's there! Bam!
Bam! It was like Michael Cole, like, watch out, watch out, watch out!
Watch out, watch out, watch out!
A little nice note here is the commentary mentions that actually the last time Morgan fought Jayne, Morgan was the one that went through the table, so Jayne was not expecting to go through herself, and she was in pain. She was holding her knee because I think she hit the guardrail on her way down.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan then, as she's trying to recover, Jayne's recovering on the outside. Morgan runs over before she can recover, tosses her back into the ring, hits her with her finisher, but Jayne kicks out. I was like, oh, fuck, shit. We get to this nice... I love this part, too, when you get like to a Mexican standoff where both wrestlers have used their finishers, and it's kind of like a, oh, shit, what's going to win it now? Morgan goes to the top, tries to flip onto Jayne. Jayne kind of like rolls up with her legs, so that her legs are like kind of folded up onto herself. She plants herself on the ground, hitting nothing. She then immediately transitions this into a cross arm bar, which she then transitions immediately into a Fujiwara when she doesn't get like the tap out.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan eventually gets out of it by turning into a pin, and then Jayne hits a fisherman brainbuster on her, but can't get the pin on her.
Jeez.
Frustrated, she goes to the outside, gets a ladder, and sets it up in the corner. Unfortunately for her, this will lead to her downfall in the finish of the match, where as she's getting up to the top rope, Morgan sees this and jumps up. The two start fighting on the top rope, trying to get the other one to fall over. Morgan takes Jayne's head, hits her head into the ladder a few times, then grabs her on the ropes, using the ladder as leverage, and then hits her implant DDT from the rope. Like, she bounces off the rope and hits her with it for the win.
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
Fucking awesome. Crowd exploded. Commentary popped off. I popped off. The roster came out and congratulated her. Mm-hmm. It was a really good feel-good moment. Match was fucking awesome. Is an easy mark out for me. Nice. If I had to have one complaint for this match, is that I wish Morgan sold her arm a bit more, since it was such a key point in Jayne's offense. Mm-hmm. I also wish that we could have heard the wrestlers more, because the audio was more so focused on the crowd and the commentators and not them. So, like, there were points where Jayne would say something and I couldn't hear it, and I was like, oh, I wish I could hear that. But other than that, awesome fucking match. Great match. Loved it.
All right, that's awesome.
Makes me sad that Morgan retired, but I'm glad that she was able to show her stuff at least.
Yeah, that seems like a great match I feel it seems like a great match to go out on too.
Yeah, I don't know what else she did afterwards, because I know she had her debut and she was just starting. It makes me sad, because she was debuting on Shimmer in 2019, so we might have seen her when we did the collective. And I would have fucking loved to see that. But yeah, great match. I would go out of my way to watch it. I'm probably going to do something for Eve in the future, just because, like, I saw, like, a Su Yung match on there that I was interested in. Mm-hmm. Nikki Cross was there, and so was Paige. So I was like, what else? Who else is here? Let's see. All right. Whew. After that mark out, yeah, you went in on that match. It seemed like it was really good. Oh yeah.
So after two mark outs, actually.
Yeah.
Let's get into the match we both watched. Our holiday death match.
Oh boy.
Between Richy Sick and Tim Davidson from Proving Ground.
This fucking match, man. I love this shit.
Can we talk about how Tim Davidson is looking? He starts off the match. He starts off the match with a little promo, and he's like, "Please, I want to die."
Yep. Awesome.
I want to find. I like how his goal is to keep doing death matches until he finds someone strong enough to kill him.
Yep. And I love how commentary like, yeah, it's a challenge he's been doing. And I was like, that's what a fucking gimmick, man. I want to die.
What a gimmick.
Give me
Just
more
keep putting
pain.
me in death matches until someone finally does it.
Jesus Christ.
All right, so what did you think about this one? Because I picked this match because I figured it's a holiday death match. Christmas is coming up. Let's get into this. Let's get into the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about this one?
I thought it was fun, though I did wish that there was a lot more Christmas-themed weapons and decorations that could have been used.
I agree. There was the lights.
Lights. Like, there were some miscellaneous props, but, like, when I envisioned, like, a Christmas death match, I imagined, like, light tubes that were maybe colored, like, Christmas colors, or, like, maybe, like, wreath that you could have used.
We watched the Christmas death match on. We watched the Yuletide death match on this show before, and we should have just watched that a second time. I feel like
TNA did something like this before, where they like had like some death match where they had a barbed wire tree that was hanging from a rope, so it was kind of stupid.
What's TNA? Do you mean Impact?
Yes, Impact. But like, yeah,
TNA who
was made of barbed wire in like a match, and I was hoping for something more along those lines. But yeah, this match was fun, but when I finished it, I was like, I wanted more. Like, I just wanted some more shit, like some more Christmas themed stuff, like the present idea that we had before, like that, like something like that.
Yeah, I also think I wanted more Christmassy stuff. Like there was like the one side of the ropes that was covered in lights,
which they were trying to sell as being really
which
hot.
They were selling.
I was like,
the fact that they were selling the lights was really funny.
I was like, guys, come on.
And they were like, yeah, those lights have been on all day. They're probably burning hot now.
And I'm like, that's a minor inconvenience.
It's like, I guess.
Well,
and there was later in the match, they bring out a bag of ornaments and Christmas lights, like loose Christmas lights.
There wasn't a ton of those though, and I was hoping for.
There was just like a little bit of them, and they do like one spot into them, and they don't even break.
Yeah,
They only broke when somebody stepped on one by accident, and then they slam each other on them, and they don't even break.
Yeah,
I was like, oof, rough, buddy.
Rough. That's unfortunate. I did like the start of this match.
Okay.
Because the two of them were fighting each other, and then Davidson's like, alright, well, fuck this. This is stupid. And he just headbutts Richy in the face, and he immediately gets busted open. And I was
right.
like,
I forgot about that. This match starts off with Richy sick, just getting immediately busted open.
I was like, ooh. And they're like, he might have broken his nose. And I looked at him, and I was like, I don't know if he actually did, or if the blood job was that good, but it does look like you busted his nose open. I was like, by God.
Yeah.
Shit. There were some...
Yeah, that was like fast. I was like, wow, already we're in this? All right.
Yeah, all right, shit. I enjoyed how they fucking took turns stapling dollars to each other's foreheads.
Oh, yeah.
Which I thought was amusing to I was just like, they're like, who at ringside has $1? And like two guys are like, I have $1. And they're like, give me that.
You.
Forehead. Blood, blood and staples.
Jesus. The fact that the first bill that got stuck to the head, it stuck to, I think, Tim Davidson's head. Mm-hmm. It just stayed there for so long.
Yeah.
And all I could think about was how uncomfortable it would have to be to work a match with just staples in your head.
Yeah, that's not fun. Oh my God.
I would never, yeah, I stapled my finger by accident once, and I almost threw up because it was so gross. So I was trying to fix a stapler.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember in school, I was like trying to fix a stapler because it wasn't like closing on top all the way.
Yeah.
And like an idiot, I just grabbed it by the staple part, and I like went to go like squeeze it to push the top down. I was like, it's not gonna. I was like, it's not gonna shoot a staple out because the top's not even connected, so it's not even closed yet. So why would it shoot a staple? Turns out that's how the stapler is, so you can get more leverage on it, and it wasn't broken at all. So when I pressed in, a staple went right through my finger.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
And only like one side went into my hand, so when I yanked the staple out, it was like straight, so it was just like straight through my finger, like right by my fingernail, like right here. It went like through.
Oh no, not on the pointer.
And I literally was in shock, so it didn't even hurt, and I just like grabbed it and like slowly like, hey, can I go to the nurse's office, please?
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
It's not fun being stapled on accident. I can't imagine how much fun it is being stapled on purpose.
Let's see. Let's think of what else happened in this match. Oh yeah, Dave. Let's see. There was this. What is it? There was this really cool spot where Davidson was sitting by this door on ringside, and I was like, oh, okay. And then Richy goes to run, and as I see the door is slightly ajar, and he just suicide dived him through the door into the next room. That spot was so dangerous. Yeah, I was like, that was my favorite spot of the match, but I had the same thought. I was like, if you were slightly off and your arm hit the door, I was like, you weren't fucking going anywhere.
It's over. Yeah, like if you slightly miss that spot and you smash your head on that wall, you could just be dead.
Your head, you're dead. Your arm might dislocate your arm or break something in your arm. Like that. Wow, you must have practiced that spot really, really closely, or you were just that ballsy. Yeah,
that was terrifying to watch. I was like, that was really cool, but like, please don't do it again.
Yep, the classic. Let's see. There was a really gnarly spot where Richy, the guy who, by the way, had like multiple personalities, commentary mentioned. So like, he has like an elegant British gentleman apparently personality, and he gets sick. Who's the one he tries to repress?
Mm-hmm.
He like beats the shit out of Davidson with this like plastic chair, I think it is. And he like does like a poetry motion, then he like flips him into and over the chair. And then he's like by the Christmas lights, and he just starts to choke him out with the Christmas lights, which is what I was hoping we would get more of, because it looked gnarly. Looked awesome too at the same time. And then let's see, then we get another Christmas theme where like Davidson tries to hit him with a cookie platter, like a Christmas cookie sheet thing, like that you probably have out on like Christmas parties. And Richy just
like a little
him.
platter.
Yep, hits him over the head with it like twice. Both looked good. What else got used Christmas theme? Oh yeah, Davidson, it was when he tied Richy up and he stapled him. He used a peace lawn ornament sign and hit him over the head with it.
Yeah, just
he said,
like
peace, fuck it,
up to his neck.
I was just
that was pretty good.
What else?
But yeah, there wasn't very many Christmas themed things. It was like the lights, it was the ornaments, it was the serving tray, and it was the sign.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I just remember the lights. Yeah, Davidson did a neck breaker on the lights, and none of them popped, and the other ones were jingle bells, so they didn't do anything.
Yeah, it was like weird. It was rough that none of them broke.
Yeah,
like there was ornaments too.
Yeah. Then the finish of this match was not. It was fine. Like they're fighting on the top rope. Davidson put this trash can over Richy's head. He then headbutted it, which I thought was pretty funny because he stuffed him into it. And then he just kind of hit an elbow onto him, and he won with it. And I was like, okay, that's fine.
Okay, that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah,
like the best way to put it was, I have a note here. It's like, was it the best death match I've watched? No. But did I have fun with it? Yes. Hell yeah, yes. I did.
So the ending spot, I actually have a note about that, is that it just didn't look as... I don't think it looked as bad as they wanted it to look.
Yeah, like
the elbow from the top, it didn't even dent the trash can.
The trash can was already dented beforehand for some reason, and like it just didn't dent it, which is why I was like, the finish was like, that's fine. I mean, like I was kind of hoping for something like, I always you know me, I like explosive finishes a lot. And a death match, I feel like, is a match you can be really creative with your finish, and an elbow off the top onto a trash can. The trash can wasn't even like colored for Christmas, man. Like you could have spray painted that. I think. Here I am criticizing their trash can. Sanders apparently.
Your trash can sucks.
Oh man, but yeah. The match was fine. I give it a meh.
Yeah, this one. I like this. I like this one. It was meh. I don't think it was a mark out, like because it was it was short. It wasn't nearly. It wasn't like a fantastic death match, but like you said, it was fun.
It was fun.
So I also gave it a meh. It was fun for the holidays, and I figured we might as well do something for Christmas coming up. So why not do a Christmas death match?
Got me in the holiday season because holy shit, that was death match, that's for sure.
How long have you been sitting on that one?
I was supposed to say at the beginning of this, but I completely forgot, and I was like, I'm gonna find a damn way to get this, man.
Absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
All right. So we went over all of our matches this week. You said both of yours. I said both of mine. We watched the one we both watched. So let's get to the double down.
The double down.
It's now time to find out if the match was, actually good or bad. I don't know. It's time for the double down.
This is where we go back. This is where we go back from last week and pick some matches that we watched and watch it from, and see what we each thought about a match we've already talked about.
Yep.
So, Zach, what did I give you for the double down last week?
You gave me Elite Terrell versus Still Life with Apricots and Pears.
Yes.
Truly independent wrestling, and I believe I want to say I gave you Sasha Banks versus Alicia Edwards at Chaotic Wrestling.
Yes.
Nice. Memory is good.
Indeed, that is what you gave me.
Who would like to start?
Who started last week?
Let me think. Let me see. What did I review from you week before? I did it. Yeah, I did second because I did Phoenix versus Cuerno.
Yes. Okay. So you went second, right?
Yes.
You said? All right. So you go first this week.
Okay. All right. Wow, this match. You when you were reviewing this match, you said there was something off about this match. And I was like, okay, we'll watch this match. So Elite Terrell comes in, he's playing up to the kids in the crowd, doing Fortnite dances and such. Still Life comes in. I'm not gonna lie, the whole time you were talking about this match, I thought there were two girls. Because Still Life with Apricots sounds like I saw a picture of him online, and I was like, oh.
Still Life's pronouns are they, them.
Yes, you are correct. I'm saying, though, that when you were talking about it and I saw like just a picture of Still Life, I thought they were a girl because just on just the picture of it. But I digress. Yeah. So Still Life comes out, and I actually looked up what a Still Life is because they're like coming from this museum.
Yeah, and it's like a painting.
I was like, what the fuck is this? So I looked up their name, and I was like, oh, it's just a type of art. I was like, oh, I'm like, okay. I'm like, suddenly this name makes a lot more sense. I like it.
Yes.
I'm gonna be straight up off the bat. This crowd was garbage and annoying as hell.
Right?
To those in this crowd,
they were terrible.
You just sucked any bit of life this match had out of it. From chanting for Terrell to take off Still Life's mask, which seemingly halted the match, to chanting "this is boring and this is awful" and asking for the match to end. Y'all are a bad crowd, and that was just that. Ugh. I got mad just thinking about it. I was like, they're trying so damn hard right now, and y'all are just being dicks to them.
Like, the match wasn't even that bad. Like, I don't even know what they were even chanting about.
Fucking like I'm sorry. Like, Still Life comes out, and I hear some guy go, "Who even are you?" And at that moment, I was like, "Oh no!" I was like, this is not going to be good." And like, Still Life tried to play it up with the crowd, but like, how are you gonna like? A bunch of the crowd members are kids, and that's fine. But there were adults there doing it too, and I was like, "Y'all, you have fucking awful crowd etiquette." Like, God.
Yeah.
And then what didn't help for me in this match is that like you were talking about, the chemistry between Still Life and Terrell was just not there for this match. Like,
yeah, it looked like Terrell got thrown off by the crowd.
Like
it felt like Terrell was ready for this match, and then the crowd started turning against them both, and it looked like he was out of it, and Still Life was just trying to keep the match going.
Like, for example, like there were several spots in this match where you could tell there was either a miscommunication or like a mess up by one of them, because like they would go to do a spot and then they would correct it. Like, example, Terrell is in a figure four with, like, Still Life's got him in a figure four. They're like bragging about it, and then he flips over the figure four. So Still Life starts to sell it, and Terrell immediately goes for the rope break. Except then I think he remembers that he has to put them in the fucking figure four, so he has to wait for Still Life to then grab the ropes themselves. Another one where he goes to kick Still Life, and he's supposed to do another move off it, but he just kicks him once, and then Still Life is like, all right, kick me again and do it. And I was like, oh, that's so unfortunate. Like, some of the moves, like, and the moves weren't as smooth either, and combined with the fact the crowd just, they soured on this match like 5 minutes into it. Not even. Like, oh my god, like, they were calling Still Life a Power Ranger, and I was like, okay, I'm like, that's a fine chant, but it got annoying after like the 7th time I heard that. But on a less negative note, there were things I did like in this match. I really liked Still Life's offense. I thought they had some really unique and intricate offense here. Like when he was like tying up Terrell. When they were tying up Terrell. Like, for instance, when he pulled out Terrell's leg from underneath him, smashed it on the apron, and then tied it up between the middle and bottom rope and then kicked it, I was like, that's awesome. That's cool. Yes. I also thought that Terrell sold his leg really well in this match, surprisingly. Like, he was hobbling around the ring. He was, like, I was, like, genuinely surprised. I was like, damn, I'm like, for not having a ton of chemistry for a lot of this match, like, that's some damn good selling on his part.
Like, it wasn't bad. I just feel like I feel like this match could have been so good, but I feel like no offense, I feel like Terrell kind of lost his cool a little bit. Like, and he got nervous once the crowd turned against him. And
for me,
it felt like Still Life was really keeping it together. For the both of them. Which I'm
opinion,
not. Sorry, go ahead.
No, this is me. Like, for me, it looked like he was also tired at the end. Like, there are points where he had to, like, wait a minute, and I was like, I thought, I was like, oh no, he might be gassed too. I was like, oh no. I was like, God. It was like oh no. I was like, no. I'm like, God. It was like watching a sinking ship for me. I was like, you had such potential to have such a good journey, and you just sunk from a bad, like, oh God. I was disappointed because I was like, this is just a bunch of factors that just didn't help this match at all. And it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was rough.
Continue with your point. I interrupted you there.
No, it's okay. What I was just pointing out was, like, it felt like Still Life was really trying to, like I'm not trying to knock either of them, but it really felt like Still Life was trying to carry this match.
Yeah, they were definitely the ring general. And
it sucked because I know, because you could tell that Terrell's not a bad wrestler. You can tell. It just looked like he was out of it for this whole match, and I think it's because the crowd turned on them so early.
Oh yeah,
really, it might have messed. I think it messed up his mojo or something, because that's what it really felt like.
Like when they were
and
yelling,
it sucks, and I felt bad because I know we could have probably gotten a really good match out of Still Life and Terrell, but we just didn't because, like, I don't know.
Yeah, like even commentary picked up on it that, like, when they were chanting for him to yank the mask off, like you mentioned how you thought that Terrell did it just to appease the crowd, but like commentary kind of noted how after that he just kind of halted. in his like thing, and I was like, maybe that threw him off. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to hit this match with a miss out, man. Like, I'm sure that both of these two wrestlers could have much better matches and will have much better matches, but this is not a match to seek out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, for me, it was like poor crowd combined with poor chemistry equals a no-go for me.
Yeah, I could see that.
Mm-hmm. I will say, though, on a side note, I want to see Still Life go against Cara Noir because I want to see how that match would go. Oh,
yeah, I'm sure it would be great. Are you kidding? That would be an awesome match.
Mm-hmm. I was just like, oh... Because, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I didn't hate Still Life's gimmick at all. But granted, Still Life was good, so I was like...
Still Life is getting pretty gaining popularity recently.
Weren't they on Impact at some point?
They were also at Effie's Big Gay Brunch.
They were, the Collective. Yes, you mentioned this, because you said you wanted to see a match with them, and but we didn't see Effie's Big Gay Brunch, so you wanted to look at one of their matches for this show.
Yes.
So yeah, boy, man, fuck that crowd, man. That put me in such a sour mood after having that awesome markout match. I was like, fuck off, man. I was like, come on.
It was definitely rough. The crowd definitely heard it, and I would have loved anybody else. The match. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Like, don't disrespect the people who are literally putting their bodies on the line for you. Oh God. Like, if you want to boo a heel, sure. Fine. Yeah. That's what heels. That's what they're trying to get, right? Mm-hmm. But like, don't chant shit like "please end the match," please, or like this is boring. Was another because one like that they yelled. Yeah, these performers are there for you, and they're doing this for you, and they're putting their bodies on the line for you. The least you could do is show them a little bit of fucking respect.
Yeah, but they did not give a fuck. Wow, I was just like, wow, they just turned so soon.
Yeah, it was rough. This crowd was terrible.
It was a rough experience here.
Yeah, this crowd was bad. Anyway, the match you gave me Mercedes KV, also known as Sasha Banks.
Yep.
Versus Alicia Edwards in an I Quit match from Chaotic Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have much to say about this one because it was a pretty short match.
Yes, it was. I remember. It
was. The only thing the things that really stood out to me was at the beginning where Mercedes and Mercedes and Alicia immediately start brawling, and then the ring announcer just does not stop the introduction. Yep. The ring announcer's just like, "Yep, don't care what you're doing. I'm gonna keep doing my thing."
The champion, as she just comes bolting out
they're just beating each other up. He's like, "And now introducing the like moving out of the way, like, the champion." Yeah, like I said, these two get right into it, like right from the entrance. Sasha, I'm just gonna say Sasha.
I think I said Sasha too.
Yeah, Sasha waits by the entrance ramp, for Alicia and just sits there. And as soon as Alicia comes out, she's like, "All right, well, it's fight time."
Yep.
And the two just start brawling immediately. Mm-hmm. Get into this really fast paced match. It looked like they knew they didn't have that much time, so they were trying to squeeze all the spots in. Which sucks, because I wish they would have given more time. Fit the spots in a good pace instead of just trying to speed through it, you know?
Yeah.
Alicia's partner, Scotty, who kept messing with the ref to get chokes, then getting chokeslammed was really funny.
Still can't fucking believe that ref spot. When I watched it, I was like, this is wrestling. Right?
So good. So good. The ref choke slammed the heel manager. That was really funny.
Fucking Scotty.
And then of course the cable choke at the end.
Yeah.
I wish there was more item spots in this match. Yeah. Honestly, like I wish they beat the hell out of each other more because it was an I Quit match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I wish there was more. It just kind of felt like a regular wrestling match with like a different ending, like a weird ending.
But I felt the same feeling where, like, at the cable spot, I was like, yeah, I had the same feeling. I was like, I wish they did more of, like, the cable spot. Like, that was what I thought I was going to get with this match. Ironically, now that I think about it, I got more of, like, an I Quit match-esque with weapon spots in the match I watched this week with Morgan versus versus fucking. I already
yeah.
got.
I really wish they did do more hardcore stuff with the cables.
Yeah.
I wish there was like chairs or tables or something. You know. But there really wasn't. There was just that end cable spot, which looked brutal, by the way.
Oh yeah, like
Sasha Banks wrapping that cable around Alicia's neck and just tightening it. It literally looked like her face was turning blue.
And then she's
like, it was terrifying. I was like, oh my god, she's gonna kill her.
Yeah, I had the same thought where I was like, she's choking her. I looked at where the cable was, I remember, and I was like, all right, I'm like, she's not choking above her where the Adam's apple would be on for us. I'm like, so she's not gonna get completely. She's not gonna get choked out.
No, I imagine she wasn't actually dying, but it looked really brutal.
It looked brutal. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So I was like, I had the same thought. I was like, wow, that looks fucking awful.
It looked like it sucked. All right. Well, I ended up giving this match a meh. I think I don't think it hit that mark out for me, but it was still fun. It was still cool.
I think I gave the match a high meh, mainly because I thought the finish was good and I liked the referee spot. And I felt like the two told a decent enough story about this feud between the two of them. They've been building it for a while.
Yeah, no, this match was good.
Oh,
the match was solid.
This was
these two did great. I just wish there was more time and more spots and more like weapon spots. More like hardcore spots for an I Quit match.
I agree.
But all in all, it's a meh. If you like Sasha Banks and want to go see her early stuff, definitely a match to check out.
All
right. Well, with the double down over, that brings us to the end of another episode of Independent Waters. You can follow us on Twitter if you want to keep up with the episodes, because we tweet about them every week. And you can subscribe to this Count Out Wrestling feed right here, or the Independent Waters Wrestling feed if you're listening there in its own special feed. And you can go, like I said, you can go follow us on Twitter at CountOutPod, so you can keep up with all of our thoughts on the wrestling world and the world in general. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel where we have all kinds of stuff, all kinds of video content for this podcast. Go check out our website, countoutpod.com, where you can find everything that has to do with this podcast and the other podcasts on the Countout Network. Like podcasts such as Hit the Books every Friday, where me and Ryan Knightsey book our own version of Raw and SmackDown every single week for your listening pleasure. And we just had our TLC special come out this Sunday, so if you want to go check that out, that'll be there. We booked our own version of TLC with our own cards, we had our own storylines and everything. We love it. We've been doing this for years. It's a great show, and we really, really like doing it. So go check that out. Hit the Books here on the Countout Network as well. And you can go check out G1 and Only Ryan's show, Ryan Knightsey's show, my co-host on Hit the Books, where he goes over people who have been in the G1 Supercard one time and one time only. Names like Hangman Adam Page, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ric Flair, Big Van Vader. So go check that out if you like documentary-style podcasts about New Japan and the G1 Supercard. You'll love it. It's very, very cool. He put a lot of effort into this show, and he puts like a ton of work into it. I think you'll really like it if you go check that out. I believe that is all my plugs. Zach, you got anything, bud?
Nope.
All right. With that brings us to the end of another episode here on Independent Waters. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing and downloading. We appreciate you so much. And go leave us if you like the show, leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. It helps a growing podcast like ourselves reach more ears, and we would appreciate you very much for it. And let us know what you think about the show by leaving a review on iTunes. Let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. We'd love to hear anything, any feedback you have to make this show better for you. And yeah, hold on.
Breathe.
Thank you again for listening. And remember, there's a gigantic sea of independent wrestling out there.
So never stop exploring.